Hi, my name is Miles Young. I also go by MPH, used to go by Mr. MPH. I am from Chicago, Illinois. Moved to LA about 5 years ago. I am going to show you the process of making a song with Rosemount. I usually start with one of three things. I'll start with a beat or the BPM. I'll start with keys, some sort of chord progression, usually 3 or 4 chords, depending on the time signature. And I'll start with the bass, usually some sort of just simple sub bass, depending on what I hear in my head. Alright, so that's like a nice warm kick. Pretty simple, pretty tight. So I'll start with that one. And I'll usually layer my kicks with 1 or 2. Just one for like some grit, and one just for punch. And the grit I'll usually use just for the texture, and then the punch I'll usually have directly as mono, just so it actually cuts through the mix and gives you that knock. Gives you that knock. Yeah, that one's got a little tail of like almost vinyl dust, so I'll use that one. Yep, alright, so we got our kicks. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Yeah, I'll use that. This is actually from Counter-Strike Go. This is someone walking, mixed with like the jingle of their uniform or whatever. It sounds cool. Also, something to look out for is the little. If you see right here where the waveform begins, you see this little tail in the beginning. If you don't take an Ableton at least, or whatever sampler you're using, if you don't take the playhead and you move the start time to the start of the actual place where the wave and the zero line actually intersect, you want to actually start at that line, so that way if you run into any phasing issues later on, if you just reverse it, or vice versa on the other side, everything's pretty clean. So it's always a good rule of thumb, for me at least, to make sure that my samples are as clean as possible. Some people like that sort of imperfection. Alright, great. So now I need some hats. For hats, I like to use live hats just because they're more fun. And for that, I use Contact. For shakers, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna use some sort of loop, just because that's usually what I do anyways. I'm gonna buy a shaker and record it myself. But it's always good for groove. Alright. Yeah, that's nice. Alright, so I'll use this one. Change the tempo. Let's just feel this one out. learn piano by ear, so usually what I do is I like to switch up and this is a very noobish way of doing it, but I go in and I add different voicings later. But just for what I hear in my head, the easiest way for me to get it out is I'll take a chord in the right hand and I'll do a different sort of root note in the left hand, so that way if I change, and I use these two chords a lot actually, so like if you put an A in the left and you put, C major in the right, and then you put F on the left and you put C major on the right, it's like two different chords and it's sort of your bass line already, or shifting the root note while keeping that sort of top voicing there. And you can even add, a different note by one note the second time. I'll add a reverb on the sample, just to kind of give it that atmosphere. It usually starts out as like gibberish, but now that I have lyrics, I'm trying to like work those out together. Here's a basic example of how I might write a melody with some words after I make a beat. Get some rest, we're going back today. Endless nights and low inside again.